In this lecture, let us discuss about Design Structure Quality Index, which is also called DSQI. This is a metric used in software engineering to assess the quality of a design structure of software system. So this is mainly for evaluating the quality. It provides insights into how well the components of a system are organized and interconnected. A high quality design structure leads to better maintainability, reusability, scalability, understandability, okay, modularity, all these things. While a poorly structured design can lead to difficulties in understanding, maintaining, and extending the software. Usually, the result of DSQI calculations will be between 0 and 1. So, if a value is closer to 1, it indicates that the design is of high quality. What is the main purpose of this DSQI? So this actually helps to quantify the modularity and complexity of the software design by examining its architecture and relationships between its components. And this index is even useful for identifying potential areas of improvement in the design, especially in terms of minimizing coupling and improving cohesion within the system. So these are the factors that needs to be checked, and these values should be calculated. So first S1 indicates the total number of modules defined in the program structure. Then S2 represents the number of modules whose correct function depends on the source of the data input. S3 represents the number of modules whose correct function depends on prior processing. S4 represents the number of database items. So here database item can be a data object or the attributes or that define the objects. S5 represents the number of unique database items. So among these data items, again, we need to find out unique ones, which are included in S5. And the number of database segments comes under this S6. So database segments are nothing but the records or individual objects. Then S7 represents the number of modules with a single entry and exit. So after finding values from S1 to S7, then we need to calculate the intermediate values also. If the architectural design was developed by using a distinct method, like any data flow oriented design or object oriented design, in that case, D1 value will be considered as 1. So if there is no distinct method, then D1 value should be taken as 0. Then for calculating the module independence, we need to use this formula D2 equal to 1 minus S2 by S1. And if the modules are not dependent on prior processing, then D3 should be calculated as 1 minus S3 divided by S1. And the database size can be obtained from this D4 equal to 1 minus S5 by S4. And database compartmentalization can be obtained by calculating 1 minus S6 by S4. Module entrance or exit characteristic is obtained by finding 1 minus S7 by S1. Once we calculate these values, then you need to compute this DSQI by using this formula. So multiply WI with DI and you need to add all the values. Say here I value ranges from 1 to 6. So W1 DI, W1 D1 plus W2 D2 plus and so on, W6 D6. So like that, we need to multiply weight with these intermediate values and add all of them. Say if the weight was not given in the question, or if they mention anything like all these intermediate values are weighted equally, then we need to take this WI value as 0.167. So if there are no individual weights, then we need to consider all weights as equal, and then WI becomes 0.167. Value of DSQI for the past designs can be determined, as well as they can be compared to a design that is correctly under development. Say if the DSQI is lower than the average, then it indicates that we need to refine it or further design work and review are required. And if major changes are to be made during an existing design, effect of those changes on DSI should be calculated. And here, how to interpret this DSQI value means, say if the DSQI value is high, A higher index value, it typically indicates a well-structured design with low coupling, high cohesion, and manageable complexity. And the system is more maintainable and easier to modify. Value is low. It suggests that the system may have excessive coupling, low cohesion, and high complexity, which could make the system harder to maintain, test, and extend. Let us see one example. Here in the question, they gave values from S1 to S7. So you need to find out because we already know what is S1, S2, and so on, Sn. So based on that, let us just find out the values. So here, S1 represents total number of modules, right? So just see the question. Major information system has 1140 modules. So that is S1 equal to 1140. S2 means the number of modules whose correct function depends on the source of data. Find out S2. So 96 becomes S2. And S3 means the modules whose function depends on the prior processing. So 490 becomes S3. System process approximately 220 data objects. So data objects comes under S4 and unique database items. So there are 140 which comes under this S5. And database segments is S6. So how many we have? 90. Next, S7. So modules that have single entry and exit points. So total 600 modules. So first write down all these values and then find out what should be computed from this question. So compute DSQI for the system which was developed using a distinct method. So based on this criteria only, we need to find out D1 value, right? So if a distinct method is used, then D1 value will be 1. If there is no distinct method, D1 value will be 0. That's what we saw here, right? So if the design was developed using a distinct method, then D1 equal to 1. Otherwise, D1 equal to 0. Now calculate the intermediate values. So D1 equal to 1. As in the question, they mentioned clearly about how the system was developed. So it was developed using a distinct method. Next, module independence D2 equal to 1 minus S2 by S1. So just substitute the values in S2 and S1. So 96 by 1140. So from this we got D2. Then modules not dependent on prior processing is nothing but D3. So substitute the values of S3 and S1. Database size, substitute S5 and S4. Database compartmentalization, substitute S6 by S4 values. And then module entrance or exit characteristic. So now we got values from D1 to D6. So what is next step? So substitute these values in the formula DSQI. We need to calculate that. So calculate DSQI. Here they didn't mention anything about weights. So we are assuming equal weights for each intermediate value. So equal weight means WI will be 0.167. So multiply this 0.167 with all the values. All S values. So add everything and multiply this with 0.167, from which we got the value of DSQI as 0.653. High DSQI represents excellent design. And if the value is between 0.75 to 1, it indicates excellent design. So it comes under high DSQI. And moderate DSQI represents good design whose value ranges between 0.5 to 0.75. So in this we got 0.653. So it comes under moderate DSQI. And the low DSQI represents poor design whose value lies below 0.5. So this 0.653 suggests good quality design, but with some areas that could benefit from refactoring or improvements in modularization.